season, which we're getting towards, which is crazy how fast the season has gone. But yeah, so I definitely think that they have a feel, been great, and we have another opportunity with playing Florida. So I know it's rivalry Florida, but it's also for us a really good RPI game, and we're lucky to have that home and away with them.
Got to go back again for a second because during that time, you're 1,000th career win. Congratulations to you for that, by the way. Now, one of two programs with two coaches with 1,000 career wins, obviously you and the legend Joanne Graff. And Coach, I've heard you say so many times to your team just to be where your feet are. For you in that moment and just as you reflect on your career, how special was that to grab that achievement?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I think after my round here with breast cancer and going through chemo and all that good stuff, I've learned to be where my feet are even more than I thought be where my feet are before. So any accolade right now is just icing on the cake. Like it's really cool, and to me it celebrates all the players, all the staff members, all the people that have been a part of this program, fans, been a part of this program to see the growth in each player via success. And I'm just really proud of that part of it. And I may be the one getting the accolade, but the reality is it's every season, every player, and every person that gives to this place. And so it's really fun to watch it continue to grow.
You want to talk about accolades as well. We can talk about your junior shortstop, Issa Torres. We got a segment we do, Truest Hero of the Game. I feel like for Issa, it's a Truest Hero of the Season, we'll say, because, she really feels like the best player in college softball right now, Coach. Just what can you say about the season that she has been able to put together so far?
Yeah, Issa, her cheer from the dugout, Issa, she's a beast, they always yell that. But I think she's got into beast mode because she's worked really hard at all parts of her game. And fortunately for Issa, as you see these highlights going, but speed is a part of her game too. And she worked on being the most durable. As players, it's hard again to get through a 60, 70 game season and play every game. And, I think she, stronger, faster, speed is a part of her game, short game is part of her game. When she went down with a concussion and was just really worried that she was letting her team down. And we had a talk when she was in the bullpen one day, and I said, man, when you get back, you're going to be great. And crazy now, crystal ball, how great she's been. But I think it was just like, man, I just want to do me and have fun and give to the team. And that's what really lights her fire, and she's been awesome with that.
Yeah, you mentioned she missed 8 games, and you're seeing the stats on the screen right there. Those are 70 hits. Missing 8 games, good for 4th in the entire nation. Just shows you how impressive that she has been, and the list goes on and on and on. That's her Truest Hero of the Season. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit truist.com/care. Truist Leaders in Banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. And talking more about Issa, Coach, how have you seen her grow just from when she came in as a freshman? Still had a good freshman season and obviously had an even better sophomore year, but it just feels like she keeps getting better and better and better.
Yeah, I kind of relate a lot of your growth. It's kind of like a video game for all the video game junkies back in the day. You got to a certain level, and then you had to figure out different ways to get to the next level. And when you become everyone coming from high school is pretty good, and they get there the freshman year and like, oh, this is a different level. How do I get better? How do I get better? And, it's taking care of your body in the off season. It's building yourself up in the off season. It's she's gotten into understanding how to sit pitches and look for pitches and really dive apart the other pitchers' game plans and the defenses. And so her smarts have just really kicked in. And, I'm just really proud of her for that. And then she leads our whole team in that category. You see someone doing that, now you want to get in there and, Jay's getting after it, and Griggs is getting after it, and Marin's getting after it, and it just elevates everybody. So she's really raised the game for us all.
Broke the NCAA record, 16 consecutive hits from March 8th to 20th. Also reached base safely in 23 consecutive appearances. When she's on a streak like that, when she broke that record.
We didn't talk about it?
Yeah, you can't talk about it, right?
Yeah. She didn't know, actually. I don't know if people know that, but when she got to third base and that ball went off the wall and she got into third base and, everyone started clapping, and then she didn't know, which I think says everything about her, right? Like she's just for the team and wants to do the best for the team, and to not listen to that or look for numbers or even know where you're at with the numbers, and then to get that recognition, it was pretty cool. So she's special.
And we're talking about what she does at the plate, but also defensively.
Yep.
I mean, how much of a step has she taken on that side of the ball as well?
Yeah. I mean, she's, again, just dives into the pitching staff. So she's really good at knowing, like, what pitchers are throwing when, kind of have an idea of what pitch calling I'm doing. She'll come in every inning. They all have defensive charts. She has a talk with Troy Cameron, TCAM. A step over, a step in makes the difference of making the play. And she has been lights out on her skill sets, but now she's also with her smarts making a big difference.
She's been doing pretty much everything this year, Coach.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch, and it's been fun so far here at Bowden's in Collegetown. Bowden's a proud partner of Florida State Athletics. Visit our website at bowdenscollegetown.com for weekly happenings, live music, and more. At our FSU-themed restaurant, make sure to mark your calendars for a remaining spring show on May 13th. So that's segment one with Coach O. We will return on Inside Seminole Athletics after this break.
It didn't start here.
But everything it stood for still does.
Some things change.
And some things never change.
Tradition, dedication to excellence, a program built on grit.
And driven by growth.
From the tunnel to the turf, every step forward tells a story.
Just like ours.
Where growth, determination, and a dedication to excellence meet.
Scott and Wallace.
Your home.
Welcome back, live in Bowden's in Collegetown, inside Seminole Athletics. Still rocking and rolling with head coach Lonni Alameda. So good that you joined us here. Segment two with you, Coach. Now, I want to go into more of your specialty. Always love hearing you talk about just pitching, the circle, your philosophy and approach to the game. Even before we even get into that, some of your staff this year and how they've grown. Of course, we talk about Jazzy and Ashton Danley, of course. How have you seen them try and click things together and take a step in the circle this season?
Yeah, I mean, Ashton, at the beginning of the year, wanted to be a two-way player, so I think her confidence from the last 2 years of pitching for us and then kind of in and out of the lineup, but, has really brought us an opportunity. What baseball doesn't have is how we can re-enter and, like DP, and she can play the outfield and come in. There's just been so many options she's given us because of her confidence from pitching and now into the hitting and playing some defense. So she's really grown in her role, and, usually your junior year, you expect that a little bit to have a feeling for the role. So. But Jazzy Francic, as a sophomore, has come along really well. Bella Dimitrievich, has been awesome as a freshman for us. You got McKenna Reed, who's healthy again, so she's been able to come in and give us innings here and there. And, I just think it's been so fun to watch them all grow. But the game has changed, as many watch. The offense is pretty crazy right now. And I think it's a perfect storm right now of analytics. Analytics are really starting to become big in our game, and then the ability to apply the analytic information. So, these pitching machines now you have that can dial up Jazzy in a second, so they can face Jazzy for 4 days before they even see her. So it's like, when you become more comfortable with a 12-inch rise ball or a 72-mile-an-hour drop ball, and you get to see it 3 or 4 days when you actually see it live, it's a little easier to get swings off. And so now on the pitching side, we're trying to figure out how to match that. And you see a lot of more open relievers, situational pitching, closers. That's been a big thing that we're trying to figure out. So, and our pitching staff getting comfortable with that. So yeah, I think it's been fun. I still think we've got a lot of pitching knowledge and growth ahead of us, which is crazy because we're towards the end of the season, but I really feel like we can keep getting better in 2, 3, 4 pitches here that we're going to put ourselves in a really good spot. And so had really good bullpens today, just talking through that. So it's been a lot of fun.
And not even just your own staff, but how have you seen just pitchers across the country over just the last 5 years alone grow in some of the stuff that they're throwing? And you talk about, I imagine these machines, you got to dial it up even more. As you mentioned, 72-mile-an-hour rise balls, the speed's increasing, all of that.
Yeah. No, I think, I think when you look across the country right now, it's definitely hitting is dominating our game, offense is dominating our game for sure, and which is great because fans love that part of it. But we, on the other side, across the country, are trying to figure out how we can match that. So I feel like strike zones have gotten a little tighter, which I've always been a fan of, but got to make sure that we can own the strike zone, mixing speeds. It's a big part of the game, and then just matchups. So the other thing I'm seeing a lot more left-handed power hitters. Before it would be left-handed slappers in our game, and now there's a lot more power hitters in our game, and so matching the lefty-righty matchups, all that stuff is we got to keep growing in our club level and our high school level to get comfortable in that part.
And going back to Ashton, and you mentioned the dual, the two-way players now. You see the success that she's had pitching in the circle, but also batting .348. She's tied for second on your team with 14 doubles. She's also hit 5 out of the park as well, 33 RBIs. How just great is that to have a player that can do both? And I feel like you're starting to see that a lot more across the game as well.
Yeah, it's truly helpful when you got a pitcher that can play positions because, again, she goes in, she can start a game for us. I can put her in the outfield, and I can come match her up again when I need a drop ball in the game. And so, she's a pitch-to-contact kid, so, but she really owns that part. And she's always been she played for her father in her club ball, days. And so she's pitched and hit and played outfield and played infield and done all these things. But, when you level up and she came here, she had to figure out how to compete for us in the circle and then compete hitting and compete in the outfield. So it took her a while to mentally figure that part out. And so she's got that now. And like I said earlier, she came to me in September and said, man, I want this. And I said, all right, we got to train for it. You got to put the time in your nutrition. You got to make sure, you hydrate. You got to do your studies. Like, it's a lot to just get through a game as a pitcher. Now you're adding hitting, base running, outfield. And so she's really stuck to that and committed to it. Proud of her. It's really cool to see as a coach or as a fan to see someone when they want something, go get it and then be successful at it. And she's earned that, and that's why she has so much confidence in what she's doing.
It's been awesome to see and sticking on that side of the ball. You look back a season ago, you've made such a significant improvement with your team fielding the ball. What was the conversations had in the offseason to try and dial that in this year, and how happy have you been with the success your team has had in that category?
I think we were trying to figure out to get a lockdown right side. Obviously Jay and Issa have been working together for a while, so as you get working together, you get more comfortable with each other. Jay's gotten so much stronger and quicker, and her angles are better, and again, just like we talked about Issa and her growth, Jay has had great growth on that side too. So the two of them have experience together and working, and then we got a little bit of freshman side on the right side working, but like I said, our freshmen are pretty mature, and I think Griggs and Marin have been over there, and Angeline Bueno also, and second base is not easy. It's a very smart athletic position. And Marin has just taken it and just run with it and done a really good job in that. So again, when you got smarts on this side and it's communicating to this side, and they are super comfortable to listen to their upperclassmen, but also have a voice. Marin's like, tell me why. Like, they're not scared to bring up a voice, and they start really working well together. And so, I think they've been lights out. And Troy Cameron's been we do defensive cards now. That's something different than we've done before, and try to simplify a little bit of a game plan for them. And so far, knock on wood, we're in a good spot with it. Yeah.
We'll keep knocking. First in the ACC, fourth in the entire country in fielding percentage. And you mentioned the junior and freshman class. I kind of want to talk about both your juniors, of course, because the success that they have had between 6 players, over 600 starts, 3 NFCA All-American honors, 6 All-ACC honors. You have 1 NFCA Freshman of the Year. Yep. And then this year, your freshmen, the first time you start 4 freshmen on opening day, and you mentioned the impact that they've had. That's got to be, of course, great to see and make you feel good for what's to come. Yeah,
for sure. I think we got to the end of last season, and we knew we'd have this hockey line shift with 9 seniors leaving and 9 freshmen coming in. And we had a couple-week chat about, what portal players could do for us. And then we decided, we have really good freshmen coming in. Let's let it play out. We don't want to stunt their growth. And I think by bringing portal players in, it could have stunted the growth of some people because, you're going to come in and not have success right away as a freshman. You're going to get challenged. But if we knew, that they would have this maturity, and we banked on them having this maturity, that they would be able to grow with us as the season went on, and they have. And so we've been very lucky in that. And we were lucky enough to take an international trip for the first time ever for off-field connection and growth. And, you just kind of put your fingers together, like, let's hope this works out. And it has completely worked out for us to have some tough times, just like this past weekend, to stay together and continue to build. So I'm just very proud of them, and yet they're earning their freshman year. A lot of freshmen come in and they get to June and they're like, whoa, that was a freshman year. And they've come in and be like, this is my freshman year, and they've owned this year, and they're going to be so much better next season because of, being in it this year and really getting after it.
Yeah, they hit the gates running, and they have not looked back. That's for sure.
No.
They have not looked back. Just want to let you know, by the way, Carver's Discount Cleaners is mean on stains and green on earth. Try new Eco Green Dry Cleaning at Carver's Discount Cleaners on 1215 North Monroe Street in Midtown. We'll step aside. One more segment coming up on Inside Seminole Athletics with head coach Lonni Alameda when we return.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
When your health is on the line, Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare is here with the most advanced medical care in the region. TMH is home to the top heart and vascular program, the highest level of care for premature babies, the area's most powerful cancer center, and the region's only Level 2 trauma center. TMH is setting new standards for medical excellence, driving research and innovation to bring the best care to our region. TMH is your lifelong partner in health.
Hey. Your voice is amazing. Let him hear it.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more.
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me, what will I find?
You're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same.
Welcome back into Bowden's in College Town. Also, if you didn't know, join us for our second annual Seminole Spring Weekend presented by Whataburger. Starts tomorrow, April 16th through the 19th. Support your Noles as they compete in baseball, softball, and women's lacrosse, all at home in Tallahassee. You can scan the QR code on the screen for more information on the events and all the promotions you will see throughout the weekend. Come out and support your Noles. It's a fun time. Seminole Spring Weekend. Glad it's back again this year. And Coach, now it's time for our series preview brought to you by FRLA. Is proud to support FSU athletics, bring an unmatched rivalry, heart-pumping competition to the Big Bend region, supporting events, boost the local economy, filling hotel rooms, restaurant tables, and creating unforgettable experiences for residents and visitors alike. To learn more about Florida's hospitality industry and the events we support, visit FRLA.org. So, senior weekend. You got the North Carolina Tar Heels in town, a team that can really swing it.
Yes.
What's your approach to coming away?
Seems like everyone can swing it these days. Yeah. Spring, I mean, feel this weather right now. This is awesome, beautiful. Right? Like, it's just crazy. Like, it is summertime, and nothing better in baseball and softball this time of year, getting after it. So it's quite fun. So, senior weekend, UNC weekend. Get to honor our two seniors, Maddie and McKenna, and we also get to honor our GAs, our students, that are graduating, that are so helpful to us. So, it's a special weekend on that side of it. But yeah, UNC swinging it. They always come in. They've always been dangerous, to the rivalry that we've had. They have a new coach there in their program, and they've been getting after it. So, but that's just the point. But any team is dangerous in the mission that we're trying to get to. So it doesn't matter if they're wearing the Carolina blue or any other color. We want to get after our game. So, but excited to be home after a long road trip last weekend. Excited to be home in front of our fans, in front of our people, and at our park, and it's going to be great.
Not many better places to play than
Not
at our park.
many
That's
better places,
for
yes.
sure, Coach. But
Yes.
before I let you go, I just got to ask you about just the growth of this game. The amount of growth that you've seen just in the last 5 years, I can't imagine the last decade alone. You look back to the Women's College World Series last year, the most viewed game of all time, 2.4 million viewers, 2 million concurrent viewers. And then you go to the Clearwater Invitational. That was the most viewed the Invitational has ever been, up 11% from last year. How great has that been to see from your perspective?
It's awesome. And, it's something that I think female coaches and female sports, we've been really trying to continue to push our sports and our brand, and we've met it now with fans interested in TV. I mean, TV gets out to we're sitting there at Stanford, and people are driving from hours away to see our team because they only get to watch us, one time on the West Coast, but they see us all the time on TV, and that just, it speaks volumes to what TV gets, us in front of, and people's when they're sitting on the couches watching games, and feel so connected. And I don't know how many people are in line to see Issa Torres, and it was just really, really cool to see that part of it. But, the game, we all know and why we support the game. We get to grow young men and women through sport. It's awesome. And the things that they get to take, the characteristics they get to take from these into life, it just helps them so much. And so by, I think, our sport growing in front of, the eyes of everybody that's watching in TV, it's genuine passion. It's a different skill set. There's a spot for us right now, and I do think people really enjoy that. And so we're going to continue to do best we can as coaches and players to continue to elevate the game. And I know that how many people here support the game, and that's just really awesome to see.
Well, Coach, we really enjoyed having you on Inside Seminole Athletics this evening. One more round of applause for head coach Lonni Alameda. We'll step aside again on Inside Seminole Athletics. When we return, a new coach joining me up on the stage. We'll hear from FSU lacrosse head coach Sara Tisdale when we return.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
It didn't start here.
But everything it stood for still does.
Some things change.
And some things never change.
Tradition, dedication to excellence, a program built on grit.
And driven by growth.
From the tunnel to the turf, every step forward tells a story.
Just like ours.
Where growth, determination, and a dedication to excellence meet.
Scott and Wallace.
Well, about halfway through our show, inside Seminole Athletics, and a new guest beside me. Let's get another round of applause for Florida State lacrosse head coach Sara Tisdale.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. Great. Happy to be here with you.
Well, we do a segment here on this show. It's our Bowden's historical moment. We only felt it was right. It's been an historical moment all year in an inaugural season. I just got to ask you what it's been like. We've spoken a little bit. I know it's been nonstop. It's got to feel wild that tomorrow is the last game of the regular season. You see the highlights going in on the screen, even back from day one when it was groundbreaking, and now your team getting out and playing. But just what's the support been like from the community and as you reflect here on year one?
Yeah, I think the actual physical stadium is such a symbolic, how we actually think about this season with that. Last year at this time, we broke ground, I think, on like May 20th, May 21st, something like that. So a year ago, we don't even have any of this stadium, right? And now we're getting ready to almost open up the players' clubhouse aspect of that, the last element of our stadium. And it's just crazy to think of everything that's gone into this moment. The people have been incredible. I think about that first game. My heart rate was through the roof, and I was not playing. I was just so excited to be a part of all the energy, and I looked out and we saw almost 1,800, 1,900 fans taking in their first lacrosse game for a lot of people, a lot of little girls cheering the names of our players, and it was probably better than I ever could have imagined it being, and it was just an incredibly special moment. And you think about the people that we've been able to do this with, the fans that have grown with us, been willing to accept and learn a new game, and really just love our players. I think the relationship our players have been able to build with this community, both through their service and just getting to know the fan base, has been better than I ever could have expected it to be. So I'm incredibly grateful heading into tomorrow. Every single one of these people said yes, kind of blindly, right? Yeah. There was nothing here when they all came on their visits other than they wanted to be a part of the Florida State traditions. And like you said, that history of excellence that exists here.
Yeah, and that comes with the pressure and everything that it has of the first season, wanting to leave a mark and a legacy. But you look where this team has now come along this season, Coach. you feel like they're starting to kind of click, maybe playing some of their best lacrosse of the year, the games versus Pitt and Duke right in there to the end. What's really changed with this team from day one to now, where you feel like they're playing at another level?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this in one of our other interviews. Our offense is all young. Mm-hmm. None of them have had any experience playing. They've come from, a lot of our transfers came from great Big Ten and ACC institutions, but they've never had to be in that moment before, right, and have the ball in their hands to make that play. And that pressure just takes some time to get used to, right? I can't teach that. We can't replicate that in practice. And so these players have really accepted this challenge. I applaud them for wanting to stand up and say, hey, I'll build this with you. But the offense has just taken more time than I think we wanted it to, you know, and that's, you're seeing that now play out. That Duke game, what an amazing game. That was our first 10-goal ACC game, you know, and that's what we had been aiming for all season. ACC lacrosse, as everybody is figuring out, is incredibly tough. You know, it's a gauntlet. It's, you know, number 24 in the country, number 8, number 1 in the country, back-to-back weeks of that. We welcome that challenge. We know that we belong with that group, but it just takes some time, you know, that we can't really replicate in any other environment besides kind of going through those game moments. So I applaud our offense for where we're at now. Our defense has kind of been that stronghold for us with, you know, a lot of experienced players on that end. But, you know, not looking forward too much here, but looking forward, we're going to return that entire offensive unit next year, and that's going to be pretty deadly.
It's special to think about. And also, again, you talked about the ACC, 8 teams ranked within the top 25. It truly is the best conference in the sport. And one of your players, got to highlight, Meg Kennedy, leading your team in goals and assists, 28 goals and 11 assists. Was she one that you knew coming in that she was going to have the impact that she has? And I know, as you told me, she's really stepped up as a leader as well for this group.
She sure has, yeah. And she's accepted all the feedback, you know, all maybe the tough feedback too from both her teammates and just from, I think, just the natural progression of the season that wears on you as a player, and you're looking at stat lines and you know that it can be better. She's a kid that has taken the time. She's watching the film. She's going back. She's going out for individuals. She's working directly with Rachel Clark, one of our assistant coaches, you know, one of the best players in the country last year, and really just taking it all in. I'm incredibly proud of Meg. I don't think that she probably gets the credit she deserves in the conference. She will. You know, people will know her name very, very quickly, and, you know, I just love watching her play. She had an outstanding week of practice, and, you know, I think she's going to give Clemson a lot of fits tomorrow on the offensive end. She's been fun to watch. And speaking about that Clemson game, we'll get into that on the other side of the next break. Want to let you know odds are beaten here. Wilson Children's is always here, the official children's hospital of Florida State Athletics. We will take a timeout, and when we return, preview tomorrow's matchup, the last of the regular season, taking on Clemson. Inside Seminole Athletics returns after this timeout.
Hey, your voice is amazing. Let him hear it.
When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more.
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me, what will I find?
You're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking.
When your health is on the line, Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare is here with the most advanced medical care in the region. TMH is home to the top heart and vascular program, the highest level of care for premature babies, the area's most powerful cancer center, and the region's only Level 2 trauma center. TMH is setting new standards for medical excellence, driving research and innovation to bring the best care to our region. TMH is your lifelong partner in health.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Welcome back to Bowden's in College Town, inside Seminole Athletics. I'm your host, Jack Kavovit. To my left, the head coach of Florida State women's lacrosse, Sara Tisdale, joining me for one more segment. Coach, it's time for our Scott and Wallace Keys to Success. Scott and Wallace, the official injury lawyers of Florida State Athletics. Scott and Wallace with offices in Tallahassee. Final one of the regular season. It's a ranked Clemson Tigers team. What they've been able to do on offense, as we just talked about before, has been great. But for your group, hungry, feeling like they're starting to peak, what are your keys to come away and end this season on a high note?
Yeah, I think obviously you mentioned Clemson's offense, but their defense is just as deadly. They play a zone. Fans will see them be very dynamic, a very aggressive zone where they're going to send two to almost every single ball. So for us, the keys are attacking those seams of that zone, getting them to engage. We do hope to draw a lot of 3 seconds calls. I hope that video has been helpful for them, the fans, to actually understand what that call is now. But we hope to kind of catch them being maybe a little bit lazy on the backside of that zone. We got pretty creative this week with what will turn into, some awesome 8-meter plays for us, hopefully, too. So, I'm excited about this matchup. I think our players are really bought in. We really spent the week looking at us, though. We know Clemson's a great team. They deserve our respect. But what we went back and looked at is what did we do well and what can we really exploit in this game for them. And so for our players to feel really confident going into this game, that's going to be so key. It doesn't matter the opponent. For us in the ACC, everybody's tough, right? And so for us, it's bringing our very best version. So we're excited about our offense matchup tomorrow. I hope Faith Wooters has a day on the draw circle. It's going to be a very tough game. The referees are going to have to make a lot of tough calls tomorrow because we're bringing it on the draw circle, and nothing's going to be easy tomorrow in that part of the game. So we're excited about this opportunity and really looking for our players just to, again, show what they think has been capable all season, but we haven't had those results quite yet.
I'm ready for it too, Coach. I'll tell you that much. Your seniors as well. The last game that they'll play, they made the decision to come here, be a part of this inaugural season just for them in that journey to choose Florida State and Tallahassee. It's got to be a special game for them as well.
Yeah, I think they have been bought in since day one. They know this wasn't going to be easy. The number of times I think that, as a player and a coach, and you look at each other, and I remember when Katrina looked at me the first game, and she said, "I love you," and I was like, I love you too. This is just a really special group, and they're here because of the people. They know that the wins might not have come, and it's just a genuine love and care for one another to know that this program, they want to be able to come back in 5 years when we're hanging that first banner up, maybe sooner according to Mr. Alford. But they want to be able to say that they were a part of that foundation building, and I'm incredibly grateful for every single one of them. I'm glad that we've got a couple of those older girls sticking around for one more year of eligibility too, to kind of help us make that transition. So, Katrina and Cage, obviously our core forward defense, absolutely incredible. Some of that, transition play as well. Awesome growth as leadership and just as humans, and grateful that they're leaving with a little bit of garnet and gold inside them too. So.
Yeah, you see the list of all the senior class on the screen right there. I got to go back to the point you just said. It's just got to be wild to think 11 months ago it was groundbreaking. It was dirt, and now what a wonderful, beautiful facility. I would say it's the best across all of Florida, all of women's college lacrosse, and here we are in the last game of the season.
For sure. I think everybody likes to say that their stadium's the best, but we really mean it, right?
It's the best.
and so to have the second only women's lacrosse facility in the country, right? And then to be able to put the people in the stands that support us, that's what makes this place special, And there have been people that have turned out game in, game out to cheer us on and be a part of this growth and be a part of this program, and that's what really makes this place come to life. So we're excited to build on that for next year and really continue to build that following of awesome Seminole supporters and maybe new supporters that can fall in love with the game of lacrosse.
Yeah, and that's one thing you just mentioned before, right? When you watch lacrosse for the first time, it is one of those games that really just draws your attention. Fastest game on 2 feet, that's for sure. And when we talk about growth and your team, I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but when you talk the off-season recruiting class that you have coming in next year, how excited does that get you for what's to come here?
Sure. I mean, the incoming freshmen, there's 16 of them, so a lot of new names to learn. There'll be a lot of impact players. You know, obviously, Coach had just mentioned the philosophy on developing who's coming in versus going back to the portal. We strongly believe the 16 incoming freshmen can take on a lot of those really big roles that will be holes in our roster that some of these graduating seniors have left. And you'll see, you know, names pop up that have been highly regarded across the country. This class has our first 5-star recruit in it, in Hadley Booth, goalie coming out of the D.C. area. So we're excited to continue to build on this class. And we know these freshmen coming in, they're all coming in this summer to get ahead. That's voluntary, 100% on their part, something we can't require. We are the only program in the country that had a team on campus last year. We're the only team in the country that'll have a full team on campus again over the summer.
Wow.
Spending 6 weeks together, building relationships, spending time with our strength and conditioning staff, really kind of laying a great foundation to get ready to attack, you know, that 2027 season.
It's invaluable, and I'm excited for that, but mostly excited for what's to come tomorrow, Coach. Last one of the regular season. Thank you so much for joining us here on Inside Seminole Athletics. One more round of applause for Coach Tisdale. We'll take another break. Also want to shout out Grassroots Coffee. Thank you for your support of Florida State Athletics. Order the coffee that supports the Noles at grassrootscoffee.com. Grassroots Coffee, made for everyone, loved everywhere. 2 more segments coming up on Inside Seminole Athletics. Our last coach, say hello to Florida State Beach Volleyball head coach Brooke Niles. So join me on the other side of this timeout.
Hey, your voice is amazing.
Let him hear it. When you work with someone who knows a lot and
3,
cares even
4.
more.
Give me a word, give me a sign. Show me where to look, tell me what will I find.
You're unstoppable.
I'm just getting started.
Well, I'm here to help.
At Truist, we believe the same as...
When your health is on the line, Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare is here with the most advanced medical care in the region. TMH is home to the top heart and vascular program, the highest level of care for premature babies, the area's most powerful cancer center, and the region's only Level 2 trauma center. TMH is setting new standards for medical excellence, driving research and innovation to bring the best care to our region. TMH is your lifelong partner in health.
It didn't start here.
But everything it stood for still does.
Some things change.
And some things never change.
Tradition, dedication to excellence, a program built on grit.
And driven by growth.
From the tunnel to the turf, every step forward tells a story.
Just like ours.
Where growth, determination, and a dedication to excellence meet.
Scott and Wallace.
Well, another coach joining me on Inside Seminole Athletics. I told you we had a packed show for you tonight here at Bowden in College Town. Let's give another warm welcome to Florida State Beach Volleyball head coach Brooke Niles.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I've never done this before. This is awesome.
Well, thank you for joining us. Glad to have you and glad to talk to you about your program. The success that you have had on the sand has also been unprecedented from when you got here in 2016. Can you take us back to that time and what it's taken? I mean, even from when you got here, it was success out of the gate, and you have not looked back. It hasn't stopped. When you reflect on this journey, how grateful have you been and how you've been able to build this program to where it is today?
Well, thank you for saying all those nice things. And I think you touched on it. I was just really grateful from the moment I got here. My bosses over there sitting in the corner really took a chance on me because I was a first-time head coach, and this is a established sports school and a lot of established programs. So I was just really fortunate to be here, and I wanted to take advantage of the opportunities I had from the beginning. And I was really lucky to come in to such a talented team. They just need a little bit of guidance. So Florida State was one of the first schools to start beach volleyball as a program. And so from the beginning, people wanted to come here. And so it was just about fine-tuning some things. And we've been able to start a tradition here with beach volleyball. Even though it's considered more of a West Coast sport, we're making our name here on the East Coast and hopefully one day win a national championship.
The 2016 AVCA National Coach of the Year. You've also had coached 19 AVCA All-Americans, national runner-up finishes in 2016, 2018, 2022. I could keep going. I got to give you your flowers as well, Coach. But just what you talked about in growing this game, even back when you got here in 2016 and as you've been a part of the sport, how did a fan or parent or anyone consume the game then to now what you see, the coverage in the Gulf Shores? That has to be incredible for you to see as well.
I mean, just all over the country, there's been a huge growth in the want to watch women's athletics, and that's been really nice, and we've totally climbed on to that growth, especially with the indoor volleyball increasing their viewership, softball, soccer, all those things, and then just being here at Florida State, all those programs win national championships. Yeah. So it's kind of like this thing where I want to try to prove myself to those coaches and hold myself up to those standards. So we're trying to recruit the top kids, be as competitive as we can be every year because that's what you do at Florida State. And so we've been really fortunate, but we haven't won a national championship yet, but we're close, knocking on the door, and I know it's going to happen soon.
You said you see a lot of the beach schools on the West Coast, but what is the appeal here in Tallahassee to come? And you have both beach volleyball, indoor volleyball, and the talent that's come through here in Tallahassee.
Yeah, I mean, that's the unique part is that we do share players with the indoor team. And so you can come here and you can play for a top 20, 25 program in 2 sports, which is really unique. I don't know many other beach and indoor schools that do that. And so that's a huge benefit is that the indoor coaches and we share players. And actually we have a player that's going to play indoor in the fall that was a beach-only player at the beginning. So it's pretty unique. But I think people come here because of the atmosphere, because of Tallahassee and how it feels like such a family. And everybody here is so kind and welcoming and want you to do the best here and are really looking at you as an athlete as a whole. So we try to project that, and then when they get here, we try to fulfill on all those promises, and it's been nice to see how these athletes have developed in our program.
And speaking about the development, how do you take someone that's skilled at indoor and evolve them for the game on the sand?
Well, they have a lot of physical talents that most beach-only players don't have. So they have the height and the jump usually, but it takes a lot of work. Like one of our best players on the team, Audrey Koenig, right now, when she first came out a few years ago on the beach, she was not very good at all. So it just takes a little bit of, pushing her through those moments where she's not good at something because she's used to being so good on the indoor program. She was an All-American there, Player of the Year for their conference, and they won a conference championship when she was on the team. So just kind of trying to push them through, letting them see what we see. And the thing is, they love being outside. They love the sand. They love the sun. Going to beaches and playing Gulf Shores is just such a appeal to a lot of people, and being on ESPN and all that stuff. So there's a lot of fun to it, so they can kind of get through that grittiness part at the beginning that's maybe hard because it is fun.
Yeah, we got to talk more about your team when we return in our last segment. Got to tell you, though, did you know that FSU Athletics is self-supported and isn't funded by tax dollars? We rely on fans to join Seminole Boosters, so your teams have the best chance to succeed on and off the court. Memberships start at $5 per month. It comes with great benefits. You can go online to SeminoleBoosters.com to learn more. One more segment coming up on Inside Seminole Athletics. Brooke Niles will chat more with me about her team when we return.
Florida, Home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sights, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
Welcome back to our last segment of Inside Seminole Athletics. And the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles is here to remind you that if alcohol is in the mix, driving is not. Plan ahead, designate a driver, grab a rideshare, or stay put. Winning starts with smart choices. Drive sober, arrive alive, go Noles. Here we go. Brooke, Niles, Florida State beach volleyball head coach. Last segment. Got to talk about this team this year. You're always in the hunt, always in the conversation for a national title, Coach. What about this group can get it done this year?
Well, this group is really talented. We have a lot of players that have been here for 4 years working really hard in our environment and our system. We have the top number ones pair in the country right now. They're actually undefeated. So how beach volleyball works is you play your 1 through 5, and you have to win 3 out of those matches to win the duel. And so we have a team that basically wins almost all the time. So you can give yourself one win, which is nice to have. But then as we go down, we have a lot of size and athleticism. We have like 4 blockers that are 6'4". We have really talented defenders that have played. Last year we were really young. We had 7 freshmen starting at one point out of 10. So those freshmen got a whole year of experience playing really competitive matches, a really hard schedule. And we probably overachieved with that group at Gulf Shores last year. So this year they just have a little bit more experience, been in our system with lifting weights and conditioning a year longer. So it just adds, we have a lot of depth, which helps because you really do, at any point, you need to win any spot in the lineup because every team you play is so different.
Yeah, I was about to just ask you about Alexis and Audrey, and you're right, they don't lose. They have been dominant all year. Such a fun pair to watch, Coach. And if you don't know, by the way, for Florida State beach volleyball, not within the ACC, but the Big 12, what is that presented from your team in terms of scheduling, advantages and challenges and everything that comes with being in a different conference?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great conference. We have a lot of top schools. It's not a traditional Big 12 because there's some schools from different conferences that have joined. We're waiting for more ACC schools to start beach volleyball, and I think they should. But it's been a great landing spot for us because it is really competitive. But we want to be challenged at every event we go to, and we want to win a conference championship, and we want to prepare ourselves to win a national championship. So TCU's in the Big 12, Arizona State, South Carolina. So TCU won the national championship last year. So we're playing top teams in the country still and able to compete at a high level, which has prepared us. We need to be a little battle tested before we go to Gulf Shores because every match it's single elimination. It's your heart's racing from the moment you start the warm-up because there's a lot of nerves and adrenaline there because you want to make it to the next round.
Yeah. Well, my last one for you, Coach, before your team goes to the Big 12 championships out in Tucson, you do have coming up the Gulf Front Invitational, 4 matches. The last match of the weekend will be a big one versus a ranked LSU team. Your team has had 7 consecutive wins versus the Tigers, going all the way back to 2023. What are some of your expectations and keys to get it right before you head to Big 12 competition?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing on a real beach, which is very similar to Gulf Shores, so it's prepping us for that. But also, we have a huge target on our back this weekend. All 4 of these teams to beat us would prove to the selection committee that they should be selected to go to Gulf Shores, and LSU including. Like, they need a big win against a team ranked higher than them. So they're going to come out playing their best volleyball against us, and I think that's good for us because, like I said, we want everybody to play the best against us. We want to be challenged. We want to be pushed to the limits because that's what it's going to be to try to win.
Well, Coach, can't thank you enough for joining us here on Inside Seminole Athletics. Thank you to all the coaches, to everyone who tuned in online, who showed out to Bowden in College Town. I'm Jack Kavovit signing off. Also, thank you to our Seminole Productions crew for holding us down and getting this live stream up and working. We appreciate you, and as always, go Noles.
Go Noles.